Okay, so the next step is to re-stretch our screens now that we've washed them and we've got all of the old material off. We want to start now getting ready to put our new coating on and then transfer our new artwork onto the screen. So the first step is to retighten the screen. From the washing, it's going to be have gotten a little bit loose, and we need to be very tight so that we don't get an image that has ripples in it. Okay, it's going to give us a bad print. So the type of frames that we have here are called a cord and groove frame. Okay, and very simply we have a piece of string in here, and it's got a nice groove in the frame that the string goes into. Now the string fits in there very tightly, and when it's forced down, it pulls this fabric nice and tight, so we get a good flat surface. Okay. So if a screen has already been stretched, okay, this has fabric already in it, we can probably just pull out two sides of the cord and leave the other two in, and we're just going to re-stretch on those new sides. Sometimes it's necessary to cut a whole new piece of fabric. If you're unsure, you should ask me, but generally, unless it doesn't, if it has a big damage area like a big cut in the middle, or it just would not come clean properly, then those are the times that we need to cut a new piece of fabric. Otherwise, we should be able to reuse this. So I'm going to pull out my two edges, and I'm going to stop just short of the other corner here, just like that, leaving about 1 inch in. And now I'm going to turn my frame, and I'm going to pull out my fabric just slightly. Okay. I've got two tools here. Okay, these are my frame tools. This one is a rolling style. Okay, it sits right in the groove there, and we just kind of travel back and forth. This one, okay, obviously just a flat bar, and we're just going to use it to kind of push it in. All right, so I'll show how to use both. You can use one or the other, right? So I'm going to start off here by, with one hand, getting the cord in line. All right, and with the other hand here, I'm going to pull on the fabric. Now, I have these two sides tight, and so my corner here is kind of the point where the most tension is. So I'm going to try to pull away from that corner. When I'm coming up here, I'm going to keep moving my hand as I travel, and I want to kind of pull at a slight angle, okay? And that's going to make sure that I don't get any ripples. You can see if I keep the fabric very loose, it's possible to kind of make a little wave there, and that's really what we're trying to avoid. All right. Now, I've done this a few times, so I can usually do it by myself, but it may be necessary for you to have a partner hold the frame down. Okay, so if you're having trouble, don't feel free to ask somebody. So with one hand here, I'm going to pull, and with the other hand, I'm going to push the cord in. Okay, just to get started here. All right, and once you get it going, you can usually switch over to the rolling tool here. And again, get my piece in line there. So I'm pulling slightly higher than where I'm actually pushing the cord in. Okay, and then I'm going to move up as I push a little bit more in, keep going. And again, you've got to have some pretty good tension here. We don't want this stuff very tight, okay? And we're going to pull up all the way through the corner. And for the last inch or so, you can really just kind of let go and get it in there. All right, and then I'm just going to quickly come back with my other tool here and push the string in a little bit deeper. Okay, the groove on this thing is only so deep, so it's good for starting it, but this is really best to get it really nice and tight. All right, and again here, we're going to turn the corner. On the back of this side here, you'll also see a very small kind of push part, and that's good for getting in the corners. A lot of times the corners are very stubborn, and so I'm going to really have to work to get that in there. You do want to make sure, though, that the cord is nice and flat in the corners. Otherwise, it's going to make our screen uneven when we go to print. And sometimes pulling on the cord a little bit is going to help it get in there. And again, if you're having trouble with this, you may need a partner to help, or feel free to ask me. All right, and again, now I'm going to get my rolling tool and kind of go along here. Again, I'm pulling at a 45-degree angle almost here as I travel. And again, my hand is just slightly above where I'm pushing the cord in. And again, I'm going to come with the flat bar here and just kind of push it in a little bit deeper. And then finally, I'm going to do that with both of the other sides that I didn't pull out. Again, these all have come a little bit loose, and we want to make sure that they're all going to sit in there nice and tight. All right, so if we take a look at the frame now, it's very nice and tight. Okay, you can see it's kind of like a drum there. I want to make sure that I've got no ripples in here, okay? A little bit of a ripple in the corner is okay, but definitely outside here we want to make sure that there's no little waves in there. That's going to be problematic when it comes time to print.